The Silent Apology, The Power of Forgiveness. It is the story of two sisters, Olivia and Emily, who had been living apart for a long time. It was a frosty winter evening in Maplewood, where snow fell gently, wrapping the quiet streets in a blanket of white. Inside the cozy corner cafe on Main Street, Olivia sat alone at her favorite window seat. A steaming mug of coffee warmed her hands, but her heart remained cold and heavy. In the pocket of her coat was a crumpled letter she had written weeks ago but couldn't bring herself to send. It was addressed to her younger sister, Emily, the sister she hadn't spoken to in 2 long years. 2 years ago, their bond had been shattered by an argument. It was fierce, hurtful, and over something neither of them could even clearly remember now. Harsh words had been exchanged, and Olivia's pride had stopped her from reaching out. Emily, equally hurt, had left town without a word. Now, as Olivia stared out at the softly falling snow, her thoughts churned. Was it too late to repair what had been broken? Across town, Emily Parker paced in her tiny apartment. A neatly wrapped package sat on the coffee table, a hand-knitted scarf she had made for Olivia. It was a tradition they'd shared every Christmas since they were kids, but this year, like the last, had felt different. Emily picked up the package and sighed. She missed Olivia terribly. As children, they had been inseparable, sharing everything from whispered secrets to dreams of the future. But the argument had built a wall between them, and Emily had no idea how to tear it down. Her mind raced with doubts. What if Olivia didn't want the scarf? What if she didn't even want to see her? But deep down, Emily knew she couldn't let another year slip by without trying. As night fell, Olivia found herself walking through the snowy streets, the letter still tucked in her pocket. Christmas lights twinkled on every corner, and cheerful carolers filled the air with songs of joy. But none of it reached her heart. Her feet led her to the old park, where she and Emily had spent countless childhood hours. Beneath the towering oak tree in the center of the park, they had shared some of their happiest moments. Secret picnics, silly games, and heartfelt promises to always be there for each other. Standing under the tree, memories rushed back to Olivia, bringing tears to her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered into the cold air, as if the wind could carry her words to Emily. At that same moment, Emily was buttoning her coat, scarf in hand. Her heart pounded as she stepped out into the snowy night. The thought of seeing Olivia again filled her with both hope and fear. As she walked, doubts crept in. Would Olivia even want to see her after all this time? What if the damage between them couldn't be undone? But Emily pushed the thoughts aside and kept walking, letting her feet guide her toward the park. Olivia was about to leave the park when she heard the soft crunch of footsteps behind her. Turning, she froze. There, just a few feet away, was Emily. Her cheeks were flushed from the cold, and her eyes held a mix of nervousness and longing. Neither of them spoke at first, the silence heavy with the weight of all the unspoken words between them. Olivia stepped forward. Without saying a word, she wrapped her arms around her sister. Emily melted into the embrace, her tears flowing freely. "I'm sorry," Olivia whispered, her voice breaking. "For everything. I've missed you so much." Emily clung to her sister, sobbing. "I've missed you too. I'm sorry for my part in all of it. I didn't know how to fix it." The two sisters stood under the oak tree, snow falling softly around them. They didn't need to say much. Years of hurt melted away in that single silent moment of forgiveness. That night, they walked back to Olivia's apartment together, their laughter breaking the silence of the snowy streets. Over mugs of hot cocoa, they talked for hours, catching up on all they had missed, big and small. Emily gave her present. When Olivia opened the package, the scarf fit perfectly. "I'll wear it every day," she promised with a smile. The wall that had separated them for 2 years had crumbled, replaced by something stronger, understanding and love. They realized that the argument that once felt so big was nothing compared to the bond they shared. From that day forward, Olivia and Emily made a vow, not just a childhood promise under an oak tree, but a deep commitment in their hearts. They promised to never let pride or misunderstandings come between them again. As the snow fell outside, they discovered a truth they would carry forever. Life is too short to hold on to grudges, and forgiveness can mend even the deepest wounds. And so, under the quiet snowfall of Maplewood, the sisters found their way back to each other. The power of love and forgiveness can light up the darkest of nights.